Okay, so this is the only piece that I made. I mean, I probably made 4 or 5 pieces while I was there as I demonstrated techniques, right? So this is the photo of the figure, and I've done her before. I actually did her in one of the classes, but I combined her with a different background. What I like about it is all the cool texture that I have.
Yeah.
But it took me a really long time to figure out what to do next. So I figured out what to do next to make this work. My problems with it, right, are that I can't differentiate foreground from background.
Right.
And I think that's consistently what goes wrong with the wax. So so I've decided after looking at it that I need to take maybe Pam, I think I'm gonna take a Pam pastel and I need to go right around the outside, define the shape, and the background has to go back. Because what's happening now is that the foreground and this foreground and this are equal.
I see.
It's not working, right?
So you'll make the background darker?
I think I'm gonna keep the same color palette, and I'm not gonna put like blue. I actually, so this is interesting. I'm in this new relationship with blue and brown. Like I used to like blue and brown together, and I painted a lot with that. Now I like it again. I've been watching like Westerns, so I like neutral colors and earth colors. What I do, a very light blue, dark blue though. Like a Pam pastel, I could do a dark blue, and I would go around. Do you see? I would go here, around her shoulder, around her head, around her arm, down here, and all one color. So that and a dark color, and it could take. So I could do brown or blue.
Blue sounds nice. Yeah.
Or black. I could do gray. So I have to kind of. And maybe honestly, like I could possibly even go in Photoshop and play around it in Photoshop and put like a light of a paint color and do
just to see.
Just to see. So I mean, so that's interesting too. Or I think I did mention this in one of my classes. I can scan this or photograph it, print it, and test it. So I could put wax on the print and test the 3 colors. Actually, you know what? Just for us, I think that's what I'm going to do. Just for me. So, but it took me a long time to be able to see it. Like I photographed it. I didn't know what to do, and I wasn't happy with it. I knew it wasn't done. So, but then the aha moment happened, and I just looked. When I was on the airplane, I had 3.5 hours. I was just looking at all my pictures, and I kept looking at this and going in all the filters and making contrasty black and white. And sometimes you have to just spend that kind of persistent, quiet time with the piece to get it to talk back to you. Like that's how I feel like with Ace. Like it was just that magical moment where he was just in that tiny, was able to talk back to me. It wasn't, he was. So I think the art is like that you have to have this sort of whimsical connection at some point of what it needs. And a lot of times we're just going through the motions of making it and making it, right? But that's important too. Those going through the motions and showing up and just doing it are important, and you're not always going to have the aha.
Excuse me, the puppy's getting at my cords. Hold on a second. Go on. You have to get out this way. Ken? Oh, she can't get by the cords, please. Ken?
Come here. Baby puppy.
Puppy. Yeah, but she can't be by the cords, and I'm doing this. I'm in the middle of the class, Ken. Well, she was. Well, no, but she was looking at the cord. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. Okay. It's a hot cord because I've got it. I have to plug it in inside the house because otherwise everything goes. Okay, sorry. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. No problem. You're totally fine. So
I am back with you.
no, it's fine. So no, that's all I wanted to say. So we're gonna go. Let's go to. Do you want to go to your photos first, or do you want to ask me questions?
Let me, yeah, just because actually, there's just one that I really want to ask you a question about, and this may answer. Well, actually, there are two, but okay. So let me just show you, and I emailed this to you, but this is the one that
Yep,
it's
I
a
saw
set.
the picture of it. Yeah.
Oh, you did? Okay. So what I really like about it was the blues, because well, you're talking about blue, and I thought, oh, that's the answer. I want to make the water blue. So I have the questions. I put the questions in the email. So if you saw the email, that's fine, because you could even email me back about,
Well,
do your circle.
we can talk about the piece. So, you have two of those. You have two of those wax pieces happening now at the same time.
Well, the second one, the first one I put down.
I
Yeah.
like I like the first one, the one we worked on a lot together.
Oh, really? I didn't like it. Well, I wanted, yeah, it seemed like too much. I didn't like it. So I tried this one.
Mm-hmm.
Now I have, but my question for this second version is I want to be able to put like a flowing bouquet that's kind of flowing with the water by your hands, but I've already waxed it. So my question is, and I'm not good at doing flowers. I don't want it to be a stencil. So I'm practicing from your other workshop. I'm practicing, maybe doing like doing a collage of flowers and just putting it down, and then coloring that, like black and white.
Okay.
But the technical part.
So maybe I would recommend is maybe something in the middle of both of those ideas, and it might sound really cliche, but sometimes I think when we need to kind of in encaustic work, we need to kind of balance, unless it's totally abstract, which we're not doing totally abstract. We're doing
Right.
realism to abstraction.
Yeah, right.
Sometimes you need points of what I call structure points.
Okay.
And so a structure point is either a stencil or a picture or a form or a drawing. So, yeah. Okay. The thing that popped into my mind right when you said that is a very thin sort of little collage of flowers that are moving. So it's not like a tight group.
Right.
And
right. Yeah.
Maybe that's going to come from like a napkin or a printed tissue paper, or so you have to kind of, unfortunately, like as artists, we kind of have to look like, I always say high to low. Like I always like to think about life as high to low. Like in my life, I love people that have nothing, like no money, nothing, like as much as I love rich people. Like I love their dirt and their grit and their cardboard box, like as much as I love their mansion. And I am able and feel very fortunate in my life that I personally can exist and feel comfortable. And a lot of people can't, right? They don't understand. Yeah. So that's like,
I agree. I'm that way too. So I understand it. Yeah.
Right. And I could live easily with nothing, and I could live easily with like my 10-star, mansion and my horse stable. Like, yeah, bring it on. Let's go. Okay. So anyway, so let's look at other resources. So like, I will frequent Pinterest. I just recently spent a lot of time on Etsy just to see what was going on there. I was horrified at how bad everything was. So
I actually did. I copied a lot of things off Pinterest. I just did flowing floral bouquets. And so I've got a lot of those. So I've ordered some tracing paper. Uh-oh, what happened?
Oh, I'm just trying to screen share. I was just going to say, pretty, let's just Google pretty paper napkins. And the reason I said napkin is because
that's a great idea.
It's usually on tissue paper, so like this
very thin. Yeah.
Beautiful. And you could get this in black and white. I mean, you can really start to buy or bring into your world designs and patterns that you like, that sort of become a thread in your work.
Yeah.
So if you like this pattern, which I think is really beautiful, you could even paint the napkins with a little bit of gesso. You can crinkle them and you can fuse them in the layers of wax. So this is
okay. That's perfect. Because I was saying, oh, I could maybe I could trace one of these Pinterest things on tracing paper and put it down. But okay, so here's a technical question. I already have a very thin layer of wax over her body, you know, where her hands are.
Yeah.
So so I would put that down. I wouldn't put it with PVC. I'd glue it with the wax. Is that how that works?
So if you have wax, you're not gonna use glue on top of wax. You're gonna use wax to adhere it. And I can do a demo. I really like, and you know, you probably, well, you haven't been to my house yet, but these are some of the things that I keep around.
I have tissue. I have lots of tissue paper.
Right.
And I
could also put like, if you had like a very lightweight fabric with a little floral, you could use that.
Okay.
You know, so like,
okay.
If you go like to Michael's, you know, you might be able to find a tissue paper like this.
Yeah.
That you could either draw on.
Okay.
You could buy it with little flowers on it.
That's perfect. Yeah.
You're learning, like at this point for me, like I would probably do the collage. Like you didn't collage the flowers in her hand under, but what's nice is that if you add them, they might be more dreamy because you're adding them on this other layer, right? So
right. It could be like the water is, yeah. Oh, I like that. Okay.
And I don't try to run like, oh, look here, this is a perfect example. So here is a napkin. Tissue
yeah.
Right. And so I could cut, like, maybe I don't want all the pink or maybe but I could cut it into like little shapes and then I can kind of piece it back together, or I could put it as a strip, right? And then
perfect.
sprinkle it, right? And then I can kind of go over it. I can obscure it or combine it.
Or yeah. Okay. That answers that question. So I'll start playing with that. Fantastic.
Also, you can just start like this other type of, like, I think all artists are collectors, right? So you can start collecting, like, and it's nice to have, and look, like this is cool. Like actually Bonnie Leibowitz gave me this, which is just like a lace, but maybe you could actually even find a lace that was more specifically floral.
Okay. All right.
You know what I mean?
The other thing I have is I have rice paper that has flowers actually embedded in it, but I think most of that rice paper is really stiff. So if I can find one, anyway. Okay, I get the idea. It sounds great. Okay, yeah. All right, let's go to your picture. So we'll go.
Oh, we're done. We're done with mine.
No. Oh, I thought you wanted me to work with it.
No.
To go back it.
Oh, this? No.
Oh, okay.
This piece? No, we're good. I'm gonna print it and then I'm gonna show you.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. No, let's look at your other work.
Okay. I mean, well, so that's well, actually, since we're on that, so with this one, we're still talking about it then. So I would put the flowers here, and then I've tried to make this kind of as extend her hair. Flowing, and then put some flowers kind of going down there.
Yeah. So I really love how you handled the background on this, and I love the gray and black. My problem with the dress, is that unless you really want it to be like that, it's very stiff. The shape.
I agree. Yeah, it's just boom. It's like a.
Well, it's like it's like a bell. It's like a bell on her dress. Now, part of me, like let me just show you too. Like because I'm interested in dresses, I've been like looking at more like dress work. Let me show you this piece. Like, I just found this one. I mean, I've just been looking at other artists that are doing dress work, but this piece is kind of interesting. Do you see it with the?
Oh yeah. Oh, it's a jigsaw puzzle. Oh.
Yeah, but it's like a beautiful dress, and but the shape is very specific, right? If you want that is a message. Like, I'm not saying that that's right or wrong, but that's just a very hard line of a dress. I tend to like my dresses to be like made out of like tooling or something that's more like you know, and maybe you should try to, like, that dress that you actually photographed was probably like cotton or silk, and it just kind of like, it just wasn't probably as
Right.
solid.
Yeah.
So what are your ideas about how to make it more flowy? So what
Well, I think,
techniques
yeah,
use?
because I want it to be, yeah, in the water. I remember you said about you want it to be going in and out of the water. So maybe,
So how would you take that white shape, which is very good, right? That white shape, and how could you make that flowy?
okay, so here two things. One thing would be to start, putting some of this water, the blue, and just have some of it coming in and out, like
So
breaking up
more
maybe
wax. So if you brush, so think of it like layers. So the dress, so that you right now that you have the dress. So if you
yeah.
put wax over it, it'll be like the water is going over the fabric, and it'll soften
Okay, so not the straight, but just certain parts. So it's
that
going,
part.
okay.
So then you'll get
Okay.
create the dress. That's what I'm trying to, I think, teach you is that, or install in you, is this idea of you have to put it on and then break it up, and then put it on and break it up.
Okay, that's the
Sometimes,
weaving.
right?
Okay.
Sometimes these tug of wars
Mm-hmm.
go back and forth for a while until you see the resolve. Like you,
Okay.
that's what I was trying to emphasize, is that a lot of times I just have to go through those motions of
Okay.
repetitive behavior until I
Okay.
can see it. You
Yeah.
never know when it's going to reveal itself.
Okay.
Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
It makes a lot of sense because I see that like with the hair. I didn't even realize I was making that flow of the hair, and all of a sudden it was there, and I said, "Oh, of course. Why not extend her hair?" Yeah.
Right. Right.
So the other thing I was thinking of with wax, and this is one reason I wanted to come back to this picture, was um, I liked how a couple of weeks ago I did some flowers and I used pure beeswax, 50%, and the wax and caustic medium. And then I had the heat gun on it, and there was something about it, it looked very watery to me.
Uh-huh.
So I was thinking I have kind of saved this section up here and maybe even her body.
Yeah.
Have that the water is flowing over you. It would be clear. It could be clear, and I want to ask you about that, but it could be clear, but it's very subtle, but you see that wavy, and that might be another thing,
Well,
another
that
layer.
wavy could come down right over that hard corner of her dress, and so that the corner could go into
Here.
the no, the bottom.
This one down here.
I see
Okay.
more as a diagonal.
Okay. Yeah, I do too, because the light's coming from here. So
Yeah,
I
I
put
see it as a diagonal.
this way. Now, if I do that, should I still do regular wax just to kind of play with this part, wax, and then do the layers that you're talking about here? And then at the end, do this mixed wax and beeswax and regular wax on the diagonal, like you said.
I think I just have to stop you for 1 second. I think that you can't go from one technique decision to another. I think you have to slow it down a little bit and do one and live with it, and then
Okay.
I think you can't assess that far in the future.
Okay. But the other question I have is, should I be putting yeah, actually, I think I'm answering it myself. I should probably do the tissue flower first, get those down. And then when I have the watery wax coming
You should
in.
do the water wax. I think you should deal with the dress situation before you do the flowers.
Oh, okay.
I think you should get the water to where you really like it and get the dress situated before you add another element.
Okay, and then the flowers.
I think if you add another element, it's just going to make it more complicated. And
okay, those are the questions. The technical questions, like, So I just stopped at a certain point. I said, I'm going to ask Leah about this. Okay, right. I will work on it. That's right.
Cool. So you're kind of consistently dealing with choices, right?
Yeah.
And if you want it to be like maybe a little bit more conscientious of those choices, you could kind of make a list of what your encaustic techniques are that you like and that you're practicing. So one could be adding a stencil. One could be adding a wax medium layer.
Yeah.
One could be adding encaustic paint. One could be embedding tissue paper, right? We already kind of know about starting with the photo, underpainting, getting started, right? But these other ones, these are ones that can go, and we could write a list right now. I can write it in the chat or we can write it together. So it's like your options are scraping back, adding wax medium, adding encaustic paint, fusing, right? Those are 4 things, right? Also, you can add a stencil or something, so you can also add something representational like tissue paper or a stencil. So those are 5 or 6 techniques that you can kind of bounce around. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you just kind of need to go, which one am I gonna try? And they're all the right answer.
But it helps to know that there's, it's like you said, it's probably better if you deal with the water first before you start, or deal with the dress and the water first, and then add the,
I tend to like to, I guess in my work, in my mind, I like to go from bigger to smaller. So to me, flowers are like the last thing. So painting flowers or any type of detail work or anything that's sort of embellishing or decorating, those things are last. Unless I put them into the collage.
Okay, I got it. So it does. So speaking of collages, I want to show you something I didn't email you, and that I started, this is based on the workshop. I started making a collage, and I want to show you. It's not great at all. I just started putting it together because I want to get a feeling for it. I'm limited in a way because I can't just do a print. So I did prints, but they're only on glossy paper. That's what Walgreens has, whatever. And
so I need prints. I will always print for you.
Oh, that's the thing is, I realized I don't even know what it is. So this was just to get me started. And then I think down the line, I'll have a better idea. Oh, these are the ones I want printed. But what I did is I made Xerox copies of them. And then I made my collage and I waxed. So let me just show you. Hold on. It's, it's really, it's messy, but it's just to get me going on this. I want to see if I'm going in the right direction. So what I noticed was the photographs of white flowers looked okay, but when I Xerox, there's too much contrast. So I had to pencil in some of the detail. So let's see, this is
I like that though. I like that when you have to like draw.
Yeah, so it's teaching.
I like that. That's
like
very,
if I have
that's very Eleanor. It reminds me of Eleanor's.
That's what I'm trying to do is set up, learn how to use the flower background collage as the basis for adding color, doing shading, because that hasn't been great for me. So this is like a layer of wax. So then should I start doing the coloring, like the painting? I like the oil colors actually, but okay,
so you have that white background.
I know, I actually painted a background to put it on because I loved in your workshop you had put your prints that you were cutting out onto a red background, and I didn't like it. And I thought, oh, just go ahead and put it down and practice. So yeah, I had the white background. It should be something else, I think.
I think that, well, first of all, I feel like the flowers, you cut them off of something dark, right?
Some of them are, some of them had a dark back. So I tried to cut a lot of the dark out, but it's still there. There's still some.
So I think you need to figure out how you're gonna blend those flowers into the background, or possibly how you're going to maybe if you want the background to be light, how are you going to get rid of the dark outline on the flowers? So I think you have to make a decision about the background.
Okay.
And then you can start playing around with the flowers. So what I might do is take an encaustic like a semi-translucent encaustic paint and kind of
Oh,
go over the whole thing,
okay. Oh,
and
yeah.
then take a pottery tool and clear the flowers.
Especially the light, yeah.
So it's
Okay.
as if you were in Photoshop and you cut something out,
Yeah.
and then you have to like blend the line back to get black down where you cut it out.
Okay.
So you cut those flowers out, you put them on bright white. You need to do a layer, opaque layer over it, and then I would pull some of the flowers out. Now, some of the flowers, based on a compositional vision that you're getting, I would leave covered up.
Uh-huh. With
And
that
some I would
translucent
clear
glaze.
out. Right, and then you need to determine if you can orientation. So is your piece going to be, and you, I mean, look, it's abstract, so you have a lot of freedom to change it, but is it going to be horizontal or vertical?
Right.
And which
Okay.
direction? So show it to me again. I can give you my advice.
Okay. And then start doing this where the light source is.
Okay, so show it to me that way. Now turn it clock either way. Yeah, I don't like it like that. I like it like that. Okay, keep going. I like it like that, but I think, go ahead, one more time. No, the other way. Keep going, one more time. I think I like it like that, which puts.
This one the best. Okay.
Now, what do you like? You look at it.
I look at it, it just looks like a mess to me.
Okay, but what do you do with, I mean, what, if you're mature and you're responsible, what you do with a mess is you make a plan, right? You
Right.
devise a strategy. You start with the outside edge of the mess, right? And you work your way in. Okay, so
looking at it now, what I would see is, yeah, I do like this. Yeah, when I look at it in the screen, I like it. I think I would have the light coming from here.
well, right, but you have to remember that the screen, like I couldn't look at, I swear to God, I cannot look with my eyes at my work and make decisions. I have I have to, because of all of my training and experience of editing and etc. I have to look at the paintings through my phone or on my computer to be able to see it.
Yeah, I have seen a difference.
I'm just saying that works for me, but
yeah. Okay.
And what's
I'll take a picture of it and look at the picture.
Yeah, and what's cool about taking a picture of it is if you're in your phone, your iPhone, you can go to edit and you can just keep flipping it. You can just keep flipping it left, 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 or right.
Okay.
Whichever way is working for you, you can just keep flipping it, and that's super helpful.
So it's really learning how, a lot of this is learning how to see. Where's the light coming from?
Learning how to see and learning how to work with yourself.
Okay.
So a lot of times with art, there's still a wall of what we call ego and fear, so that you're like to break through and put too much wax on there. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've been like, you just need to like cover that with wax and like kiss that shit goodbye and then try to get it back, right? Like, or throw or go wild or because you know, people want to come at it with like a little bit. And
I see that fear coming up a lot of times, and I said, put it down if you're afraid. And then when I come back to it, I said, oh, well, just do it.
Well, that's another reason you trick yourself into working on more than one piece. So when you get into those moments, like, I don't know what to do with you. I mean, maybe that's why people have a bunch of kids, because when one kid's not working, they can focus on the other kid.
Oh, no.
Sorry. Oh, John's not doing his homework, but Mary is. I'm going to go hang out with Mary.
That's right. That was never my motivation. Oh, my God. Anyway, okay, so that helps. Those are.
Well, you didn't have a ton of kids. How many kids did you have?
I have three. Oh. Yeah. And
I kind of wish I'd had another one, but I didn't. That's fine.
You had one.
I had two.
Oh, you have two. Oh, okay.
I have two. Yeah, so the first one I wanted out of stubbornness, like the first one I wanted to prove that I could do it, and the second one I wanted because I really just wanted them.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Well, just put all that love into both the kids and especially your son who really needs you now. Yeah.
I know. I'm trying. I've always seen them as learning aids.
Oh
like,
yeah.
right, like learning, and you know, I
I'm
definitely.
still learning. My oldest son is 50 and I'm still, I'm still learning. It's just, it's unbelievable. Never stops.
That's awesome. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, so put those things aside. And I also really, I talked like this one woman at the workshop.
Yeah.
I just kind of goes hard on her because I went over to her palette after I'd done my demonstration, and I put a bunch of colors on the palette, and I really used a lot of medium, and I had everything nice and flowing. And I
Yeah.
went over to her table, and she had like 7 or 8 different colors in tiny little pods with like no wax medium, like not. I was like, "What are you doing? Did you not listen to a word I said?" Like, what? You can't paint with like minuscule amounts of paint. You've got to get loose.
Get in there. Yeah. Yeah. I'm learning. Like it's, yeah.
By numbers here, we're painting by texture and abstraction, you know, and
And by mistakes.
a lot of other things. Yeah,
Lots of mistakes.
not minimalistically for sure.
Yeah. I'm loving this process though, to get more abstract, not just be tied down to the literal photo. I mean, yeah, it's
Let's go
really
back to
open.
that flower piece for a second. So what is your gut color telling you? I would go for like a light color, even like a beige. Or
Yeah, I want to do it. I'm really liking the minimalist colors, not bright. I tend to just go bright just because I don't know how to mix them, but I'm learning how to try and get more.
I mean, these. I'm assuming that you have. I'm assuming that you have some paints, but like, I love off-white.
Yeah, yeah.
Buttery. You can make like a nice buttery yellow, like a.
Nice. I'm gonna, while we're talking, I'm gonna look at my.
And yellow and gray look really
Gloss.
good together.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna get into my colors. All right. Well, I like. Okay, so the encaustic's going to be challenging for me because I have to. I have fewer quote ready-made colors, so I have to really like if I have a yellow, I just have this bright yellow that I have to tone down. But I do have grays and white to tone down. So let's see. Let's see if I can. And a wash I would do with a Haka brush, right? Probably. So I'm mixing some colors. There's already wax on my thing, so I'm just mixing. I don't know if you could see that. Actually, I have some of this. Let's see. But I don't. Let's see, for beige, I'm trying to think how I would. I've got that bright yellow, but to beige it down, I would add gray. I'm just talking aloud.
That's okay. You know what? I can't emphasize enough, and let me take you over to this part of my table. I think I really try to share with my clients and my students everything that's working for me currently.
Yeah.
One of the things that I used to do, which I can't even believe I ever like tolerated that in myself, but I used to just put all of my paints in a bucket. So what I've done, I don't know if they told you this, but I rainbow ties my table. So
yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
You can be like more specific about it, where like even with the greens, you go from like lightest green, to darkest green, right? And I think it's really important for your brain to compartmentalize these colors and be very conscious about what you're picking, and then don't forget, like, I have all my mud colors, right? So here's like 4 of my mud colors, right? So green.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love that coral. Wow, that's gorgeous.
Right.
Yeah, I've got.
Great, good girl. So these are very translucent, right? But like even the blues, like they're. I just found
a brown that might work. That might work to make it with the beige. I found a brown mud. Let's see. I don't have that many colors in the encaustic. I have more. I like the oil, so I've gotten more.
Yeah, and remember that the pigment sticks can go into the wax, right? So if you have a pigment stick color that you love, but you don't have the wax, you can put it. You can put the pigment stick into the wax.
Okay. Oh, yeah. But I think I don't have beige. Okay, but so I think part of this is going to be me learning how to mix colors because I think I don't have any.
So I'm very fluid with my mixing colors, and I tend to mix my encaustic colors exactly how I mix my pigment stick colors, which is like light to dark on the palette, right? And then I also light to dark on the palette, and then I also just blend them through the middle, right? So
middle,
right. So I put like the one color, whichever the color, like say whatever the color is that I'm using. Say it's blue, green, red, yellow. I put that in the middle, and then I pick a white or a neutral white or off white on the right, and then I pick a darker color on the left, and the darker color can be a darker blue, it can be a gray, it can be, right? So do you see how that works? And then I just kind of have fun on the palette and use a lot of wax medium and mix it together. And I can demonstrate this if you want me
to. I think I remember. Well, I don't have a darker. Well, this has more dark brown on the other side. So,
so I made a darker color. But you might even want to add like a dark color to that, like a dark blue. Like forget about what the color is and just consider it a toning color.
A toning color, okay.
Right. So it's not about the dark color. It's not about what color it is as much as it is about its darkness.
Okay, hang on. Let's see. Well, ooh, I have a kind of red. No, that's not. I'm going to put a touch of black. I know I shouldn't use a lot of black, but I'll do a touch of black and see if that.
But see, this is like so good for me because, and two, like, just always be like practice what colors you like together, and like you can take your paint sticks and put them on paper, or you can just like hold them together and go, oh, like I know I love purple, like light green and yellow. Like, I mean, I don't know. I'm just like, and then I can take these 3 paints, right, and put them together, right? And it's hard too because the paints they make so many colors and color tones in the paints.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard too, but you have to just sort of listen to your gut and practice. I mean, in a way, you could just buy like red, blue, yellow, and white,
Well, that's basically what I have in the encaustic, except I have the mud. So, oops, now I don't like it. I don't like it so far. I'm working on it. A little bit more waxing. Let's see, I'm gonna use test strips. Yeah, so mixing colors is one of the harder things for me. That's getting better. Too dark, but it's better. That's brown. I don't like that. No, don't like it.
what are you doing over there? I can't see.
What am I doing? I'm just
over there?
I'm talking to myself. I'm trying to get just
talk to me while I'm still here. So what are you doing? Tell me.
Okay, I'm mixing. I've got some.
Don't isolate yourself. We're so. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, yeah, I know. I just wiped some off, but I've got some yellow down, some mud. So far, it's all too dark, but once I get closer.
Listen to me. I want to say something very important, and that is that if you use lighter colors.
Yeah.
If you use lighter colors in the wax, they're easier to manipulate.
Yeah, I
just. If you use dark, and they're easier to see through to the photo. So darker colors are going to cause you more stress because it's a bigger commitment.
Yeah. Yeah.
So be careful of how much of a commitment you make, right? And if you take that like lovely blue and mix it with a bunch of wax medium and maybe a little bit of white or white pigment stick, you're going to do yourself a big favor. Oh, so I could mix you're saying I could mix the encaustic and the pigment. If you take your pigment, yeah, if you have encaustic paint on your palette, you can add some wax medium and you can take your RNF pigment stick and rub it in there to tint the color. Okay, so that's what you're saying. They don't have to be separate. All right. No, they can be they go together. Oh, yeah. Wait a minute. I've got the perfect thing. They go together. Like, yeah, they go together. Oh, that makes it much better. I have like this antique white, and I have a mustard yellow. So those are going to be much closer to what I want. Okay. So you said that, and I wasn't really listening well. So that's a learning. Oh, yeah, this is, okay, I think I've got the beige. Let me get, I'm closer to the beige I want. Okay, now this is probably going to be too much. Okay, let's put a little more yellowy. It's too yellow. So if it's too yellow, I need to put in more light. So with that collage I just did it on paper, so I don't feel totally committed to it. I just thought this is a practice piece. Yeah, so that's. Well, but I mean, great art happens in practice pieces. I mean, you don't have to differentiate that. I mean. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, it's fine. It actually frees me up. I always think that every piece, I still, to this day, think every piece is like a test run. Well, and then you say, oh, wow, this is it. This is what I want, right? But the aha moments come, when they come. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm actually going to, in January, I can't wait. But when I have a little time off, I'm going to, devote a couple of weeks. I'm going to scrape back a bunch of stuff. It's always forwards and backwards with art, I think. Interesting. 10 steps forward, 3 steps back. You know what I mean? It's like, and it's like making like, the butter, right? It's like you churn it, and then you pull the cream from the top, right? You pick the best one. Well, I've never made butter, but I take your word for it. Yeah, I've never made butter either, but I mean, I like the creamy top of the yogurt. Like, I get it, how, Yeah. I do make yogurt every week. Okay, so yeah, it's good. All right, I'm getting closer. So tell me, while I'm trying to get this color I want, what's this job that you took? Is it a teaching job? I took a full-time teaching position as a special ed assistant. So I will have a very small caseload of 3rd to 5th graders that I will be helping with their basic education. So I can be creative and I can be nurturing, and I don't have to build curriculum. I just have to follow the curriculum they're already on, and I have to do some paperwork. but it's like it's just, and I'll have my summers off, I'll have my weekends off. I can
Well,
be
you don't
my
have to,
art.
you don't have to do a lot of thinking and prepping.
I
Yeah.
don't have to do a lot of thinking or prepping. I just have to learn about these disabilities and be kind and compassionate to these kids and supportive and help them get through their 3rd through 5th grade reading level, which I think I can do that.
Well, good.
And
Yeah.
I'll have a pension, I'll have a retirement, I'll have, I mean, I really, you know, I'm going to need to work another 20, 25 years here.
Well, do you have, so are you gonna have time for your art though?
Yeah, I'll work 8 to 3. I'll have time to work in my studio during the week at night if I want to, and I'll have my weekends, and I'll be off 3.5 months a year, like June, July, and August.
In the summer. Oh,
In the
okay.
summer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I mean, I can work seasonally. Like I can be printing and collaging. I mean, I'll just figure it out, you know?
Good.
I
Okay.
can go on art retreats in the summer, and I can teach at night. Like I can teach workshops when I want, you know, I can do privates and workshops, you know, when I can, when I want to. And I think it's going to be perfect.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
And it's going to take a lot of stress off of me about finances.
Yeah.
And I won't have to, like right now I have like a lot of relationships I have to maintain in order to work. And it's too much. Like some of them are just, they're just exhausting, you know, relationships are, you know, like
it is, it's work.
With art, it's a lot of like, hurry, like work hard and wait, and like you're really at the mercy of a lot of other people following through or getting back to you or wanting you or having money, you know, like it's all fine. I mean, I've enjoyed my time living as an artist, and I am remarkably proud of what I've been able to achieve.
Yeah, you should be. Yes.
But I'm also, I've just been getting a little bit. I think maybe it's the age too, like just aging. And I know you were talking about aging, but one of the things I've noticed about aging is that I don't want to multitask as much as I used to.
You do a lot of I mean, I just can't. It's just amazing. So that can be very stressful, I think.
So I don't want that. Right. I would rather like less is more and more. And maybe also I just want like maybe more control or, you know, less people I have to accommodate.
Right.
I mean, it'll be a different type of accommodation working.
It'll
be like it'll be steady income. It'll just be different.
Yeah, no, it sounds really good because the other way sounds so stressful to me.
And
I've got this.
Honestly, I have to tell you that I didn't look for this or ask for this. This came to me, and I am one of those people that when opportunity
Yeah, I agree with you.
I see it as like, I mean, not to be cliche, but I see it as like angel work.
Yeah.
And that the universe is telling me that I have an opportunity here to.
I think that's right. It's like it's the universe is telling you here.
Yeah, the universe is saying like here's
easier.
Try it. Like it could. So I'm excited. It was literally.
So when do you start?
Yeah, that's like probably not until January sometime.
Okay. Let me show you. I think I finally
have the holidays. It's like a weird time right now, right? I mean, it's like the holidays are so weird. Let me see your colors.
It's basically this up here, these.
And I'm gonna pin you. Hold on, I have to make you a pin. Oh, okay, so that's a little green, which could be.
I know. I don't know where the green's coming from because I have not
warm it up. But I don't mind the green. Okay, I make it a little bit lighter.
A little lighter?
Yeah.
Even lighter? Okay.
Well, yeah, because what happens with right, with encaustic is you still have to deal with the weight of it, and you have to deal with
A little lighter, and I'll
and then
put
when you
more
put
wax in.
right, and lighter, remember Pam too, lighter could mean just maybe more translucent, right? It doesn't necessarily have to mean that it's brighter.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So lighter could mean more translucency. Does that make sense?
How about this one down, this bottom one down there?
Yeah. Yeah. Try it. I still think it's green, but I mean, you are dealing with flowers, so green is appropriate.
Okay. All right. So hockey brush or bristle brush? Hockey brush or bristle
I would
brush?
say hockey brush because it's
Brush. Okay. Here we go. I'm going to put a little bit more encaustic in just so it's really a glaze, more translucent. Okay. Well, good. So I'm hoping that you and I can continue, but maybe not as often. You
no,
know,
you can continue. You can
whatever
continue.
works with what works with your schedule.
Yeah, you can continue. We'll continue. I'm still going to teach all my classes. I have some weekend classes,
Cool.
and I'll continue my face. I mean, I'm not going to give up. I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up anything that I have except for the wedding photography.
Right. Well, yeah. Man, I would never, even after being a photojournalist, I would never want to be a wedding photographer. Oh my gosh.
So I have to, yeah, I mean, I have to obligate and do the jobs that I had that are rescheduled from this year, and then I don't ever have to do it again unless I want to.
Yep.
And I cannot tell you like just how happy that makes me.
Good. Well, then it's the right decision. Like we know, don't we? We know this is it.
It's just nice to know that like I have a nut egg. Like it's just gonna give me a lot of like sanity to know that like I have a nice annual income that I can depend on. It's just gonna make me a nicer person.
Well, and you'll have the benefits too, right?
I'll have a retirement. I'll have the union. I have benefits through my husband now, but yeah.
But do you also have like what do you call it? Health insurance, all that
I
stuff?
have health insurance through my husband, so we'll have to see how that works out. But yeah, I can get health insurance. And I mean, retire, like at least if I have 10 years of retirement, I mean, basically I have nothing for retirement.
Really, as an artist, yeah. I mean, you give a lot to, I feel very fortunate that I can, later in my life, I can do this, you know, play, really learn this and play and
Yeah, it's
not
awesome.
have the responsibilities. Well, you know what? It's so cold in here. The wax is going on really thick.
So take your heat gun and heat your panel.
Yeah.
Take your heat gun and heat your panel. And I actually noticed too that my wax is acting different because of the cold. So one of the things that the wax does when it's cold is it gives you air bubbles.
Well, I like. I like the air bubbles.
I have some air bubbles right now. Yeah.
I like it when it gloms on. You know, I could barely touch it and it's glomming already. No. Because I remember in the summer when we did translucent glaze, it just, went on smooth. It was really nice.
Yeah.
This is a whole nother thing.
Right, so it's a little after 11. Let me see what you're doing, and then let's end for today, and we'll. You're gonna let me know about next week, right?
Oh no, I can do next week.
Okay.
What did I say? I can't do the 18th. I can do the 16th.
Oh yeah, I can do next Wednesday.
Yeah, whatever the Wednesday. Let me just check. I'll do an email, but I'm pretty sure I can do that because it's before this MRI. So, and then I'll know after that if I can do anything. I'll just have to see after that. They'll either say, you're going to surgery, or they'll say, oh, nothing to worry about. We'll see. So, a better idea. Okay, I can finish this. It's kind of gloppy, but I'll work with this now. Thank you so much.
You want to show
and
let's see it.
I will, but it's so gloppy. I'm really going to have to.
Okay, so what I would do is I would take that and maybe use your heat gun a little bit.
Yeah,
And you can even like hit the flowers but don't go like too puddly. Just soften
yeah.
it and then use your powder. You can also use a nice layer of wax medium. Don't be afraid to just use wax medium.
Just by itself, and then start scraping.
Yeah, just by itself.
Okay.
And then pottery.
And then,
enjoy.
and so then I'm opening up the lighter flowers, so then I can play with those in terms of other
lighter ones. I think that's a great idea. I would go for the flowers. Yeah.
Okay, good. I have a strategy for this.
Okay. Yeah, and that's
Thank you so much.
That's all we can do is make a strategy, right? And then execute it confidently, and then evaluate it, right? That's all we can do. It's sort of like, and it'll show you signs, and you'll get ideas, and things will go off track as you go, but then we'll rein it in and we'll do it again. Yeah. Okay.
Good. Thank you.
Okay.
And I'll send you pictures as I'm going. All right. Thanks. I'm so glad to hear everything's working well. Thanks.
Yeah, everything's working well. I mean, I believe things are happening for good reason, and
yeah,
I'm confident things are going to get better.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks. Bye, Pam. Have a good day. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. I'll send you the recording.
Thanks. Okay.